So speaking about Super Eagles, speaking about chances for Super Eagles, of course, we know that Nigeria, the national team, we have two matches that are coming up in less than a month now. In fact, in 25 days, we're going to be taking on Benin Republic in AFCON 2025 qualifiers, our first game of the AFCON qualifiers. And we are without a head coach, but there's some conversation that has been going on, some talk in the rumor mill about an interim head coach potentially taking over that position. Smith Layi, what can you tell us about that?
No, officially, we have been looking for a national team manager since February, since February 10.
Hmm.
So it's now 6 months. We're still searching for that manager. Maybe it's the beautiful bride, we don't know.
Hmm.
But in my own, okay, we didn't beat Benin Republic yesterday. We did lose to Benin Republic yesterday. We lost to Benin Republic in June. I think it was June that we
Hmm.
lost to Benin Republic around maybe June 10 or so. So we've been looking for head coach since then. When Finidi actually stepped down from that job. I don't know why we still find ourselves in this situation. That is now 25 days before the crucial game. Now we are going for interim. So I think when you want to see when you want to when they are planning something, you will see that some people will come out from different quarters to push for it. I
Hmm.
saw one man saying that, oh, Nigeria should go for interim. That's when you know that this thing actually gathering momentum. And I'm hearing that it's Salisu Yusuf, the former 23 coach, former assistant coach of Super Eagles, former uh, um, Chan Eagles coach too. Salisu
Hmm.
Yusuf is highly favored to actually to be there as the national team manager for the two games. But we all know that it's practically impossible for him to just come for two games. So if it comes to two games and maybe probably we got a win and a draw, he will stay till October
Hmm.
for the two games because there's no way they will appoint a manager. And if he maybe gets a good result again, he's going to stay till November. That's all. Before you know it, he's the one in charge of the local qualifier. So
Hmm.
that is what they actually were trying to push. And it's actually what unfortunate that we have people that don't even know what they are doing at all. It's a very, very big shame because with this game in September is very important for Nigeria because the two opponents we have in September, we're also playing them in the World Cup qualifier. So this one should be like a friendly game for the new coach coming in, so that he would know how to approach that game next year because it's very important for Nigeria. So it's a shame, but I think Salisu Yusuf is a favorite. Maybe probably going to be assisted by maybe probably Dana Mukashi. We don't know how they're going to set up the technical crew, but it's actually highly unfortunate.
Hmm. And similar, Salisu Yusuf is a name that has been in this Nigerian football hemisphere for such a long time. We're always hearing him. He's always within these conversations about coaching, assistant, interim, all sorts of things. Why is it that the NFF cannot seem to do without this man? It almost feels as if he has a chokehold on them and he must be within the setup. Why is that?
Maybe it's a shareholder in NFF. We don't know. Maybe because since 2016, it's been a name that everywhere. Anytime there is a vacant job, it's going to pop up.
Hmm.
Anytime there's a vacant job, it's going to pop up. In fact, he nearly got the job ahead of Kenneth Raw when somebody left in
Hmm.
2016. He nearly got the job. So it's a guy that has been controversial too. If you remember his case during the Chan when he was caught on TV on camera collecting bribe. He was punished. For 1 year by the NFF. But for me, I think that is practically not enough because it's like you just slap somebody on the wrist, and that person you now retain the person again. I don't think that is actually what enough. So it's also, his last job was to relegate Kano Pillars, from the
Hmm.
Nigerian Premier League, and he also failed to qualify Nigeria for the Olympic Games. He called a player from Division 9. He called a player from that we are not even sure of nationality.
Hmm.
So it's a guy that has not delivered. He also coached the Chan team. He failed to qualify for the last Chan tournaments too. So he's a guy that his track record does not really actually speak well for him. But I just don't know why his name is actually very is high up in the NFF. And if you also talk to his supporters too, he said it's very intelligent. But how can somebody be very intelligent and yeah, and then the output is very poor like this? I say
Mm,
he studies a lot. He does. Well, if he's studying a lot, we should actually see the output of what he's trying to do. So, in my own opinion, I just think that he's the favorite of the NFF, but I don't know the reason why he just keep hanging around.
mm. And for me, I've said this a number of times. I
Mm-hmm.
think, or let's even if we look at the fact that it's not like the man is uber successful, in terms of his coaching accolades. I think in his career, he's won the Nigerian FA Cup twice, he's won the MPFL once,
Mm-hmm.
but the last time he won a trophy in Nigerian football was in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, for the past 11 years, he hasn't won anything. Like you mentioned, under 23 is the one that did not help us to qualify for the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the biggest question mark is the fact that this is not a rumor. This is not trying to badmouth him. This is a fact with literal evidence. He
Mm-hmm.
was caught on camera accepting bribe to
Mm-hmm.
select players into the Chan squad.
Mm-hmm.
This was a while ago, but it happened. And
Mm-hmm.
I always say, like, for me, when somebody commits a cardinal sin like that, I don't think that the person should still have a chance of even taking control of the biggest national team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say that he's not going to do things that, I mean, maybe he'll be more careful because he has been caught before and doesn't want them to catch him again. But
Mm-hmm.
I just think he should not even be considered for something like this. But unfortunately, he is still being considered. He is still a name that is always in the mix. And if he takes charge of the team, I cannot say what I'm expecting. I
Mm-hmm.
honestly cannot say what I'm expecting. I think that the players that we have, are good enough to get a positive result. But I don't want them to now use the potential positive results as a reason to justify him taking over the team. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, yes, we've struggled in water qualifying against this same Benin Republic. We lost to them, but even if he beats Benin Republic now, it doesn't mean that he's the right man for the job.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that the NFF don't use this as a cop out, don't use this as an easy way out, and continue with their search, their hunt to hire a proper coach for the Super Eagles, because the team needs some kind of stability. The team needs some kind of a real leader that is guiding them in the right direction. And without that, I think things will continue to be shaky. Will
Mm-hmm.
continue to be shaky for us. I don't want to talk too much about the man, but again, I just think that it's a bit laughable for us that these are the coaches that we continue to recycle, for lack of a better term. And we continue to give opportunities because in every other walk of life, in every other field, you don't get away with things like this. People are not, there's something like this sells your name forever. Nobody's going to give you a chance again unless maybe you travel to another country where they don't really know you and you try to rebuild yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Let me just see what people, you want to say something?
I just want to say that another thing being thrown into the mix also is also the current technical director of the Super Eagles of the Nigerian football. Eguavon is also being thrown. But for me, he was also in charge of the Nigeria worst ever AFCON,
Mm,
in like 40 years. And also he also failed to qualify Nigeria for the World Cup. So in my own opinion too, if you are considering him, I don't know why we are like this. We seems to forget things so easily. So it's a very big shame.
mm. Okay, let me just take some comments very quickly. Temi says Eguavon is the coach now. Relax. Okay. Chinwoke says, how come England hired a coach before us? It's quite crazy. 2 months plus gone and no updates. Every day it's one update or the other from one goal or one source updates from a journalist. Adedatun says Salisu Yusuf cost us Chan and Olympics. Levitico says LMAO, they don't want us to qualify. Why? Chinwoke says they are really joking with Nigerian football. Victor Balogun says this thing called Super Eagles is just a joke. Um, Elite says, I think the problem with the NFF is that they just don't have the money to engage their usual journeyman foreign coach. Onyechi says it's all about meeting the quota system. Temi is also asking, what has Salisu ever achieved as a coach? Let me see. Abdul Jalil says, I don't think Salisu Yusuf will be given a job as interim coach, but let us wait and see anyways. Um, and then Victor is asking a question. He says, Why can't we look at quality coaches in the CAF leagues, such as Florent Ibenge and other similar ones? Smith, do you have an answer to that question?
Yeah, yeah, that is Flores Ibenge, Piso Mosimani. These are big boys, but maybe because they will not bend to what they actually want. That's the reason why.
Mm,
And to back this thing up too, IoT, Ibenge left DR Congo. He went to go and prove himself in Morocco, and he also won the CAF Confed Cup with a Moroccan club.
mm,
So to tell you that he left his comfort zone to go and prove himself in Morocco, that's what I keep on saying to Nigerian coaches too.
mm,
Leave your comfort zone, leave that Nigeria, go elsewhere, go to Ghana, go to Mali, go and prove yourself. Go to North Africa, go and prove yourself. When you merit, you give you the job. For example, now the
mm,
coach of Sundance left Sundance to go and prove himself. Now it's now in wide Casablanca of Morocco. What that? So prove yourself. So for me, I don't think they will give him Benga. Benga does not take nonsense.
mm,
So it's as good as even probably Avarinad. I won't let you. It's very very tactical. So, but they won't give him because I think he knows what he wants.
mm, mm. All right, all right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess, Smith, let me ask you this question: if you had your pick, who would you want them to give the interim job to?
There's nobody currently in Nigeria now that can handle the national team. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
There's no coach in Nigeria now that can actually handle the Super Eagles. There's no coach. There's no.
Strong, 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 strong words from Smith. There is no coach in Nigeria right now that can handle the Super Eagles.